who stole the Mustang from CP. Because Blaylock right above that says, who is this? And so he orients him to a person. He might as well just take that phrase as a name. Instead of saying, John, it's this person who stole the Mustang from this other person. And he says, that person is trying to put me in slime, but said I got to get put in by you or go to 250 Cleveland. And so for the jury to understand why Blaylock responds, oh, you're going to have to give me $25. And then they continue speaking about, and for Blaylock to say, you're going to be real on slime, you is. This whole conversation is about this individual trying to officially become a part of YSL.
Things you can buy for $25. Can you show us other members who said that it's $25 to get put on YSL? Can't. So I'm assuming they're going to bring that up during cross or during closing, because that's pretty stupid. Let's just be fair. $25? This sounds like some little dudes who ain't really got no money, and that's what that is. And they basically said, that's our crew. Don't you do that when you join Boy Scouts or Eagle Scouts or something like that, right? Am I tripping? Like, ain't that something you do when you have a little gang and stuff like that? They have your little initiation fee or membership fee or something like that. So there's that. But, bruh, there was so much stuff being thrown out there yesterday. It was Fireworks Friday. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of these motions first, and then we're going to spin the bins on Lil Rod's story, because that little dude, I ain't going to hold you. I know what they're trying to do. Brian still laid it out perfectly yesterday. So we'll put that towards the end. But, bruh, this Ashleigh Merchant freaking motion, this powerhouse play, these words that are cracking, let's get into it. If you don't like Ashleigh Merchant, you just don't like the law. I know she married, so if her husband is watching this, hey, bruh. Anyways, dear Miss Love, I hope you are well. Please allow this to follow up on our prior discussions in connection with Mr. Martinez Arnold's testimony in the trial of State v. Williams, ETAL. Given the state has sought arrest warrants in connection with other witnesses, I wanted to proactively reach out to you regarding the scheduling of Mr. Arnold's testimony so that we may avoid any last-minute scheduling issues and avoid a legally improper material witness warrant issuing for Mr. Arnold. Y'all know who she's talking about, right? All right, cool. If y'all don't know, it's Lil D. In an effort for full transparency, I'm copying the court and known defense lawyers on this communication. Meaning, hey, what they know, the judge know, I know, and you know. Ain't no backdoor up over here. I understand the state would like to speak with Mr. Arnold prior to him taking a stand at trial, but Mr. Arnold did not agree as part of his plea negotiations to allow the state to interview him. Meaning, you ain't put that in writing? Don't get excited about it, because it ain't gonna happen. He provided testimony as part of his plea colloquy, and the state was free then to inquire of him. And it did. As a result, Mr. Arnold declines the state's invitation to talk with the state again prior to his trial testimony. In connection with his anticipated trial testimony and as a part of the plea negotiations in December 2022, I requested two things. One, that the state honor my leave as Mr. Arnold's counsel of record, and two, that the state give Mr. Arnold and me advance notice of his trial testimony so that I can comply with my legal obligations pursuant to Superior Court Rule 17.1, meaning, hey, look this up, motherfucker, which requires that I provide other counts with the last 7 days notice of any conflicts. To be clear, my continued request for advance notice of the date the state anticipates calling Mr. Arnold is in no way a suggestion that he will not abide by the terms of his negotiated plea. He intends to comply with the terms of his plea, just as I hope you will comply with our agreement that you will provide me with advance notice of the date of his testimony. While I have not followed the proceedings closely, I understand that the state has recently sought material witness warrants for certain witnesses, and my belief is that the state has done so without legal authority. I believe the state's arrest of Quindarius Zachary on September 16, 2024 constituted a false arrest and will give rise to civil action against you and others who effectuated his arrest. Effectuated basically meaning forced. So let's just make sure we put that one there. The order your office presented for Judge Whitaker to sign references an application for an arrest warrant for a material witness with the criminal offense OCGA 17-7-90. That statute, however, does not apply to witnesses, but only applies to criminal defendants and whether they appear for their own cases. Yo, hey, so, bruh, just because you subpoenaed him, he's not a criminal, meaning he ain't signed no plea deal. He wasn't in on none of this. Hey, that's crazy. Wow. For these reasons, I'm writing proactively to ensure you do not improperly seek a material witness warrant for Mr. Arnold. If you do, we intend to seek all remedies under the law as I outlined below. Meaning, hey, check this shit out here. I'm about to take you to school. I can't wait to read this. As I am sure you understand, there was no mechanism to obtain a material witness warrant for an in-state witness, but the state recently has sought such warrants for in-state witnesses. Material witnesses are permitted 2 instances. First, pursuant to OCGA 17-25, attendance of witnesses, a court of inquiry shall have the same power to compel the attendance of witnesses as in other criminal cases, as set forth and is subject to all of the provisions of Chapter 13 of Title 24. At any location where the court shall conduct a hearing, provided that notice is given at least 24 hours prior to the hearing, a court of inquiry may order the arrest of witness if required to compel their attendance. OCGA 17-7-20 explains that a court of inquiry is a court with the criminal jurisdiction of a magistrate to examine an accusation against a person legally arrested and brought before him or her. These provisions clearly do not provide the insurance of a material witness warrant before a superior court conducting a criminal trial. Damn. She basically said, you ain't even had no reason to do that. That was beyond your power and your control. The second instance that a material witness warrant may be issued is when a witness is from without the state. Pursuant to Uniform Act to Secure Attendance of Witness from Without the State, OCGA 24-13-90, as Mr. Arnold is not a witness from without the state, this provision also does not provide for the insurance of a material witness warrant for Mr. Arnold. Basically saying again, you ain't got the power to issue a warrant, buster. While the court retains the power to compel the attendance of witnesses, that power is enforced by attachment for contempt and not a material witness warrant. OCGA 24-13-26. Subpoenas are enforceable by attachment for contempt and by a fine not exceeding $300 and or imprisonment not exceeding 20 days. In all enforcement cases, the court will consider whether, under the circumstances of each case, the subpoena was served within a reasonable time, but in any event, not less than 24 hours prior to the time that the witness's appearance was required. Also see OCGA 15-1-3 provides general powers to the court to enforce compliance with its process. Clearly, the state has no power to seek a material witness warrant for an in-state witness at a trial before a superior court judge. The only power the state has to compel the attendance of a witness is contained in OCGA 24-13-26, which is not applicable at this time since Mr. Arnold is willing to appear even without a subpoena. While district attorneys typically enjoy immunity from acts undertaken in connection with their court-related duties, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals recently denied absolute prosecutorial immunity for a Fulton County district attorney who obtained material witness warrant for a witness and then failed to recall the warrant after that witness testified. Cass versus Fulton County, Georgia, 40 F 4th 1289, 11th Circuit, 2022. The court held that the arrest and confinement of the witness had nothing to do with conducting the prosecution for the state, and that the district attorney did not have to engage in advocacy to initiate a warrant's recall, but only needed to notify the judge. Therefore, the district attorney did not have immunity for false arrest and confinement of this witness under material witness warrant. Damn, I was hoping that she would have been like, Eddie went to jail for like 20 days, but whatever. If you choose to ignore foregoing law and seek material witness warrant for Mr. Arnold, we are putting you on notice of our intent to pursue all remedies provided for false arrest and confinement as outlined in the Cass decision. We truly hope that this is not necessary. I'm sorry. She wrong, bro. She wrong, man. I love this woman, bro. I know she married, but not like I want to be with her or nothing. But I love this little flex right here she pulling off. I wish again to make clear that Mr. Arnold intends to comply with his obligations under his plea agreement, which included his rights against self-incrimination under the Fifth Amendment and the right to have me present in the courtroom with him while he is questioned by the state. I am simply requesting that the state, as it agreed to do, provide me with advance notice for his testimony and honor his privilege against self-incrimination. Though we have not been able to talk about this in person given our schedules, I hope this clarifies my position regarding Mr. Arnold's testimony, and I look forward to your anticipated cooperation. Yours truly, Ashleigh Merchant. Now look who she CC'd. Paige Whitaker, Simone Hilton, Adam Abate, Brian Steele, Keith Adams, Matt Shard, Doug Weinstein, Jay, Bruce Harvey, Carlton Matthews, Lamar Granger, Angela Williams. I wish she would have sent this to Fani Willis, bro. I swear to God, I wish she would have sent this to Fani Willis. Man, let's discuss this even further. She did such dope lawyer work right there that she even gave Quindarius Zachary people literally the laws that were broken and can file a lawsuit right now. So I ain't gonna hold you. Like I said, if y'all hate Miss Ashleigh Merchant, I don't know what to tell you, but she definitely is one of the dopest out there. If I can, I don't care if I gotta fly in, I want to just see her in the courtroom because I know she don't give a damn. You can tell she kind of don't like the judge. She definitely don't like the damn DA's office at all. So there's that part. And bruh, I don't know, man. I just feel like she might object to certain things while they're asking questions, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't believe she could do that, but it still seems like she gonna insert herself into this and let Miss Love know, you better be on pins and needles. So I actually don't even think Miss Love is probably gonna cross Duke. I think it's probably gonna be Miss Hilton, because at least Miss Hilton has that monotone voice and she's not yelling. Miss Love, if she gets all rah-rah and all of that stuff, she will have lost. And she will be lost in the sauce. Now we still got to deal with another thing for next Friday. And I'm definitely going to try to make the courtroom on this Friday because 4 p.m. Montunk has his damn thing set up as well. 10/9/2024, motion to revoke bond. And then it says state's motion and petition to revoke probation revocation. Whitaker, Paige, Reese, hearing at 4 p.m. So that's 10/18. I don't know if they're going to film it. Maybe they will. Hopefully they do. But let's get back into it. Now, I'm calling it now, bro. I don't think that it's going to be revoked because there were so many things that were enigmatic. Because in one instance, you did have Miss Love turn around and basically agree that, yeah, he was supposed to come through and clear some stuff. And then they did the old switcheroo as far as the plea deal goes. So that can literally go against the freaking lawyer, which then means that unfortunately, Montunk might have to file a complaint, or somebody may file a complaint and get him suspended like they did Melnick, because that's bad lawyer work. If what is said is said. But at the same time, Montunk really put himself in this position, bro. You should have never agreed with none of that shit that you did. I think what he was trying to do is say, we already had YSL before them and we got charged with gang stuff. So I'm just basically saying that before, yeah, we were registered as a gang, but that's still not what you're supposed to do. I don't give a damn how it go. I don't care if you admitted that you had some milk and cookies yesterday and now they're trying to get you again for having milk and cookies with the rest of your homies, and you saying, well, I had milk and cookies before. You never do no shit like that. So that's the chaos that's in the court because, bruh, what the hell? And then we had Lil Rod. I'm telling y'all, bruh. This is what Brian still laid it out perfectly. Check this out.
Because, and I'm looking for proper cases for you to consider, but I believe that that specific colloquy that you read, where that's at issue, I don't know how to identify, except the one where someone's saying, oh yeah, I'm in the gang and I was blessed in, or whatever the words are. I don't see how that furthers the conspiracy, because it's just two people talking, hey, should I trust you or not trust you? I don't know why that is a furthering of the conspiracy. I think those are just talking about past acts, and they may be co-conspirators who don't know each other, or they may be gang members who don't know each other. So I don't know why that furthers it. But what I'm specifically looking for is Mr. Blaylock's not here, and my mind is that any statement by him should be his statement. I do understand that any act or statement of a co-conspirator to further conspiracy is an act against everyone, even if you join the conspiracy later.
Right.
But on this particular occasion, we don't know who one person is. We're letting in, it's like the tail is pulling the dog, because we're letting the conversation from an unknown person to say, oh yeah, this has to be gang related because of what's being said, when I don't know who that other person is talking with Mr. Blaylock. And so I think that we're so turned on this issue that I'd like the court to consider it. But I'm looking for better cases for you, that if you do let it in, it's not admissible against Mr. Williams or really anybody else here, because you have one person severed, where he pled. Your Honor, I think he pled.
Okay.
I apologize. Didn't he plead?
He did not.
Okay. Mr. Blaylock pled.
Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay, well, he's not here.
Right.
So that's essentially how they playing it with Lil Rod, is that basically we've been in ongoing criminal enterprise, and we've been recruiting people, and that's how they snuck his ass in there, because other than that, there's no damn reason for any of that. You basically, how they're trying to structure this. Young Thug and Tick and DK were the three amigos, and then they had their little underbosses and stuff like that, and the underbosses would have been, I think it was cuz like Damon Blaylock, whatever the hell it is. Anyways, that Blaylock would be the one that's right up under the head honchos, so then they could pick people and stuff like that, because the RICO is basically built off of the mafia. Here's your head people, your capos, your underbosses, and then your street punks. And allegedly, that's how they're trying to paint Mr. Redalius Ryan as a street punk. So keep that in mind as we go a little bit further.
Again, it's the larger conspiracy of the criminal street gang. It doesn't have to be tethered to, in this specific context, is also part and parcel of the RICO criminal enterprise. They're kind of one and the same. The state's alleging and putting forth that this criminal enterprise is YSL, which is a street gang and a criminal enterprise. So this whole conversation is in furtherance of the criminal street gang, because again, you have to have a way to verify and check who's a member. Because if someone is a member, you can trust them more. If they're not, you need to know that. And if someone's falsely claiming, that is a serious problem. And so this whole conversation furthers the criminal street gang enterprise, because they are trying to verify one another. And it's also Blaylock stating all of these things and actively claiming his gang affiliation, which, no, being a member of a gang in and of itself is not a crime, but in contexts like the one we're in, these kind of conversations, also go against his own interest when he gets charged later on in this exact RICO. So for those reasons, the state feels that this conversation is co-conspirator hearsay for both parties, because of the way that they're using specifically YSL gang identifying language and verifying one another, which that kind of conversation is a conversation that furthers the gang. And so that's the state's position for this specific conversation of why it is not hearsay.
Judge, I understand all of that this conversation would establish this conversation. The co-conspirator hearsay exception, there has to be something besides this conversation. And we don't have anything.
Yeah, so I've got a question about that. And can other circumstances that are can other evidence corroborative of what is going on in this conversation be what establishes the existence of the co-conspiracy? I mean, the fact that they are talking about things that we know from other evidence, is gang related and is specific to this gang and things like that.
Your Honor, the answer is yes, in terms of, for one, if you started a trial with a co-conspirator, pre-trial you have a motion in limine, and you say the state wants to introduce this two gang members discussing, just think of the most perfect example of something that would fall into 801D2E. You could introduce that statement as the first piece of evidence with the proffer to the court that this evidence will come in to prove it. At this stage of the trial, in terms of October 11th, 2024, the state believes that there is an ample amount of evidence that YSL is a criminal street gang. That evidence of that, and the reason that's so important to the court's question is once that evidence is either established or you proffer to a court and ultimately before the trial resumes is in evidence, then all of these statements, if they further that conspiracy, then it would satisfy.
So, I think there is other evidence in this case that establishes that both of these people would be co-conspirators. So I am going to let this one in.
My theory is ultimately this: is Lil Rod probably seen them cats around. He was from Cleveland anyways, and he wanted to be down. That right there, I didn't play the beginning part of the text messages and stuff like that because it just was going to be a super long clip. Basically what happened is they were sending messages to each other, and they were basically trying to say, oh, this dude ain't slime, he ain't us, and all this stuff and everything like that. And then Lil Rod eventually sent another message. Now, it is clear that it was to somebody, I can't remember Cuz's name, but basically he jumped on Instagram from somebody else's stuff, and basically he was talking to the same person. But once again, Seti Nash catches the state lying, because check this out.
KY, which is who he's speaking with. So it's someone he's publicly stated as a fellow gang member. And so what he says is, at the very top of 940, this individual, Block Life, says, talking about going to Club LaCroix, about to get dropped off at Big Nick Spot. Big Nick Spot is someone that pops up in terms of a location that that YSL members will go to or hang out at. So, and it's 2823 Waters Road, or sorry, 2830 Waters Road, which is the same house that's we've talked about to the court with that the 911 call and tethered to the murder of Shamel Drinks and the back and forth. So also, if you follow this conversation more, Mr. Ryan in kind of the bottom of 940 says, Slime's gone from the store to the studio. And this person responds like, who? Mr. Ryan uses this term MAJA, but then if you go further, he's like, what studio are they at? And he says, last time I checked, they were at Club LaCroix with Dolly. And there's been testimony about Dolly being Dolly Greer, the sister of Jeffrey Williams, about 2 hours ago. So again, this is showing it references a couple of different items in a private Instagram thread of a location of Waters Road, referred to as Big Nick Spot, and also tethers, because age-wise, there's a difference. And so it connects Mr. Ryan with other evidence in this trial.
All right, overruled.
And Judge, just to add to that, the part about who was with Dolly, that's not Mr. Ryan as the speaker. I don't think we know who that person is. I'm sorry, did I miss that? We do know who that is?
I don't know his name. I know it's the same person that Mr. Ryan ats when he says, love all my slimes. And then Mr. Ryan responds to that, okay.
Yep. All right, thank you. Okay, what's our next one? Clear?
Yes, Your
This
Honor.
is one conversation. Here's another one. Okay.
The next one is this Instagram handle of DeAndre Smith.
All right, so is that the extent of that conversation then?
And then it goes further on 1371 at the bottom where Snake Life, the same person, says it's a warrant out for
Okay.
you, slime.
All right. Okay. And that's the extent of that conversation then. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor, but it concludes with a video. In Instagram, you can see a video call event. You don't know how long
All
or
right.
what
And
was.
are y'all, is that highlighted? Are y'all going to highlight that
Yes, Your Honor.
in a color that is unique to the two of them?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right, so that's relevant and appears to not just be a one-sided conversation. All right, so let's go back up to whatever the next thing is. So
Yes, Your Honor. On 1370, you have DeAndre Smith, who,
saying, hit me up and stay low.
correct.
And
it-
then 911.
Correct.
And then what happens?
There is a video call at the bottom of 1370 between Mr. Ryan and DeAndre
Okay.
Smith.
All right, so that one would be the same ruling. And then do we have a third thing going on here, or?
The state, I have highlighted a message from Dirty Stick that says be safe. The state would not be using that, so I'm going to remove
All
that
right.
highlight.
All right, thank you.
Judge, I guess just backing up the messages which are one-sided with DeAndre Smith. I guess I think that's what it is. It is one-sided, not, I don't believe there's any response from Mr. Ryan.
Well, what Mr. Atkins just said was there's a video call after that,
I don't-
video call event.
I could be wrong. I don't think it shows whether that video call is answered. I think there's an attempt to make one. I could be corrected, but I don't think there's anything which shows that the video call did actually take place or that it was answered.
Your Honor, I don't believe that that is ever captured in Instagram records. Like, it shows a video call event and nothing more, is my understanding from having reviewed other Instagram records, that it just, that's how Instagram captures it. It doesn't, it's not like a call detail record where
Right.
it says like call completed, or that's all you're going to get, which can be argued, I believe, by, like when we introduced this, that could be crossed if you don't know if they actually spoke, but it's the state.
Okay,
So
I mean, I think it's even though, all right, yeah, so but you will highlight the video call event as well.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I hope somebody sends this to the council, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call myself and not answer. All right? So the first time that I do this, you're going to see I'm going to call and then not answer. So boom. I'm calling. All right. Calling and not answering. Here's what's going to happen. Sound is going to get bad. So it is what it is. But I'm going to actually answer the call this time. And so we're going to hold it for a little bit. So about maybe a minute or two. So what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is simply providing a couple of things. I'm providing the fact that if we stay on this call for a while, that you will actually see the timing. So that would mean that when he was calling, that actually the person didn't answer. So when the state does this type of crap, they're lying. All you have to do is turn around, call somebody, and if they answer, it's going to show you for about how long that they called. Now, if they did it and it doesn't, then we stand corrected. So I don't believe that that's the case. I do believe that it shows for about how long it calls. So I think that has been about 2 minutes. So let's stop it right here. Just lie, so that's good. So if you see at the bottom, right? Video started, video call ended. So the state is lying. So we catch the state lying yet again on devices and all of this crap because you know as well as I do, it says call ended, call ended. Now, with that being said, here's where it gets ugly for Lil Rod and why I believe that the state ultimately put him in there. But if we're going to be an unbiased channel, I can make the case as to why they actually included him in there. It's just, I just don't believe they moved.
This was posted on February 21st of 2019. The murder was February 23rd. I don't know if definitively these are the firearms, but there was both assault rifle rounds and a 9mm. And so it's this, the state believes this is unique and relevant because one of the timing, and two, the person he is adding is Wooney Lee, who we've talked about earlier. And he shows both an assault rifle and a handgun in this video. So the state wanted to introduce this, given how close in time it is to the murder involving weapons of that type.
Okay, didn't we have something earlier that was being offered for the same reason?
Your Honor, that was an Instagram thread we did where I believe in, this was the one where someone was trying to buy
5 or
guns.
6.
Correct,
yeah.
Your Honor.
So pick between them.
We will use this video, Your Honor, and redact, I will find that PDF page number and not use that thread.
Okay.
So which?
Do we need the audio?
What's the thread?
What thread was that, Mr. Evans? What thread was that?
It was in the 5 October Mr. Sprinkles thread. It was when the person asked, he says, I will find it and let you know.
It was one of those about, it was the one that I said was okay about the back and forth with the firearms, but. Do we need the audio? Okay,
No.
all right,
The audio, Your Honor.
all right, next.
No sound, root gang. Around. Let's block that. Ladies that thought like a stop sign. There's a whole lot of there's a whole lot of gunfire.
So, Your Honor, the state initially flagged this because we had referenced that Instagram post that says Rudy Gang, and his shoes and his comment is in similar reference to that of someone who passed away. And so the state intended to introduce this just to show referencing that. Understand the court has previously admitted the photograph where he says that, so I understand if the court used this, would not want us to play this, but that's why the state intended to use this video.
Okay, so I would sustain a cumulative objection. Okay.
It's cumulative because they showed the same damn gun. That's why. That's basically why. But even the judge, I ain't gonna lie, she's being very fair because she did say this shit.
That if the court can see, that is a probably 50 round drum in the magazine on the bottom of that gun. So it's a public display of both YSL and and Mr. Ron using the firearm. So the state's purpose of this video is to show that public display, which is important to, one, create fear or, for the game.
Got it, overruled.
They already have photos of him with guns.
Not with a gun with that kind of a attachment. While wearing a YSL chain. All right.
I ain't gonna hold you like, man, that's not with that holding that kind of bro. Listen, I think this is the fairest Paige Reese Whitaker is gonna be. I ain't gonna hold you. I get it. I get why she did the other one in the previous video, but pro inverses, right? You could say that the influence of YSL and all that stuff made Youngin like that, or you could say he did grow up poor, he ain't had no damn money and all of this stuff, so he tried to be down with a crew that it seemed like they was getting money because it's YSL rule the world kid, YSL's popular, they probably get the girls, they probably get a whole bunch of stuff, and there's brotherhood and camaraderie that does not exist for him anywhere else. You can say that 100%. And I get it, but I think the state's position, if they were being honest, which I don't believe them to be honest, is that the influence of Young Thug to his underlings created that underling right there, and that's where he's at the most violent part of it all. That's what the state would like the jurors to believe, is that here's the top guy, the middle guy gave the little guy the orders to still run it as a criminal organization as they have it established. Now, do I believe that we've seen that shit? Hell no. But that's exactly what they're trying to do. You can argue till you blue in the face, but it is what it is. My heart of hearts, I believe this little dude was just trying to be cool. And he wanted to be down. He ain't had shit going for himself. Like 90% of teenagers who grow up in the hood and all that stuff, ain't no jobs, there ain't nothing like that. Or they get dumbasses, like these stupid ass influencers who think that a 9-to-5 is bad. But then once you see these influencers in 10 years, yeah, they still trying to live off them glory days and they living off women, like Mondo. But either way that goes, I don't see it. Do I know ultimately that Lil Rod killed the other youngin? I don't. But it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because it's what he can prove and prove that he did it. So there's going to be that, and then added with the fact that he's painting a bad image of himself. Now, for those of you who will say, well, man, all the other races of kids and stuff like that, they have guns and all that stuff and everything like that. That part is true, but there's a level of lesson being taught. It's not a little kid with weed in his mouth and screaming out rap lyrics and acting like he about to shoot the damn camera. So no, it's not necessarily that. Now, if he were an adult and he was doing that and he legally owned the firearms, I would be with you 100%. But because this is a little kid and it seemed like he's without parental vision, can't really rock with you on that one. But it is what it is, man. We 4K away from that $1,000 giveaway. Make sure you subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified, and share to keep your people aware. I will catch you in the next one. And once again, you have to have commented on all the videos, share the videos, like the videos, and that's what's going to put you in. We're going to add you into a freaking bag. Everybody's name will be put on there, and we will do a live stream. We will hold up the live stream and all that stuff and everything like that. So will there be finalists? I think right now we probably have like maybe, I don't even want to put the number out there. It's a good number, but I'm going to put it this way. It's free money. Might as well. And if you don't want to participate in it, cool. If you don't, then you don't have to. But after that, I guess we'll get a PlayStation away. We'll get an Xbox away after every 50K. And then after that, once we hit the 300,000 mark, then every 100,000, because I think the channel will be taken off by then. So it's going to be hard to kind of do it that way. So every 100,000 after that, we'll just start giving some gaming systems away, because I'm not knowing that y'all watching these videos while playing some goddamn video games. Or some of y'all want to lie to your baby mama and be like, baby, look what I got. You know, ladies, you know, you can trap that boy, trap that man. Hey, I got you that new PS5. It didn't come from me. I don't know what you're talking about. But either way, I randomly pick the people. I don't know the individuals that win this stuff. So if you want to accuse me of that and everything like that, please do me a favor. Jump the fuck off. I appreciate you.
Jay Williams, which he is on.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hill.
You need to talk closer to the mic, I think.
Jay Williams, who is number 9.
Yep.
Number 14.
Can you try the mic again, please?
I don't know how much closer are the mic can be in my mouth.
Is it on?
Can't be in your mouth, bro.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy.
You don't know how to hold a mic? Maybe you need to get some training from Miss Love.